During the last week of July, we saw an increase in the cold front, emanating to creating a lot of rainfall, which is above normal or even above the average at that stage for this specific district, more so the municipal area where we are in. And obviously, the systems here are designed for a specific type of water flow and weather pattern, which is what actually was surpassed here with literally in a span of less than 3 days. We then saw on the upward component of the Olifants River, 4 berms being breached or they literally caved in. We then saw the Olifants River actually breaking its breaches and totally overflowing on the road. Behind me is the original culvert, which was designed, a single system culvert, which actually deals with the normal flow of the Olifants River. But once we saw the 4 berms actually, caving in, and the flow of the river actually then increased to above its normal velocity pace, you then saw systematically the culvert design actually then caving in. The culvert system currently has 7 concrete sections. 4 of the 7 sections have actually lost their foundation and they systematically are caving in. What we have done by the 8th of August, our local roads team together with the West Coast District Municipal Roads team has at least ensured that a single lane is now in place to ensure that the community is not cut off from the N7. But the question has always been for a permanent solution, which is why earlier this morning, with the local Cederberg mayor, the deputy mayor from the district municipality, as well as the municipal manager of the district, and the local and also my own provincial roads teams, we came now to engage the citrus sector, but also the business sector, because these are the 2 heavily most affected sectors, because they create a number of jobs for the specific community.
Minister, when we look at what's happening now here, maybe can you give us an update on just the progress with regards to repairs here? Maybe how long you envision that it will take to get this road up and running again?
Well, part of our meeting this morning focused on building a temporary bypass just on the other side of the road. That construction, weather permitting, will start this Monday. It's estimated it will take about 8 days to build a single lane temporary bypass, while the permanent solution, which is a dual culvert system, will commence in the latter part of that. But that the construction, again, utilizing the internal capacity of the West Coast District Municipality and our own engineering team, we do have a timeline, again, weather permitting and all factors playing into our successful completion date. We do envisage before the builders break in December of 2024. The permanent solution will be in place.
And when it comes to the people of Citrusdal and their movements travelling in and out, are there any other alternative roads that they can use to leave the town?
Well, yes, there are 3 alternative routes. Obviously, one of the 3, I believe, is also single lane again. Because of the incremental weather and the recurring rain, it does impact, and we have seen mudslides on one of the 3 alternative routes. Again, we do indicate the 3 alternative routes, but the road users must use it with caution.
At this stage, is there an estimate of how much it will cost to repair this infrastructure?
Well, just the permanent double or dual culvert system, excluding the labour cost at this time, the engineers estimate it will be in excess or close to 30 million rand.
And then have you received any word or communication from national government or other spheres of government that will perhaps step in or assist, or any sort of work from them that will also help?
Well, look, the ultimate solution that we does require a future proofing of what we are planning and implementing here as the Provincial Department of Infrastructure does require a transversal approach, which is what I also alluded to in our meeting. We have seen water and sanitation nationally, what normally takes years for the local farmers to get permission to actually clean within the river part itself. They got, I believe, permission 48 hours ago to do that. The Provincial Department of Environmental Affairs, as well as the National Department of Environmental Affairs, has given their certificates or permissions along the embankment components. So the transversal components is in place, but what we will also be doing to ensure that all role players stick to what is needed here to future-proof our final solution, which we tabled this morning to the stakeholders, is that we will be submitting a draft maintenance master plan, which is transversal. It incorporates agriculture, the relevant national departments and provincial departments, because we are spending 30 million rand ultimately for a permanent solution which could have been prevented if all role players played their part actually more than a year ago already.
And then, Minister, we know it's been a very harsh and intense winter for the Western Cape, and this harsh winter has caused a lot of damage across the province. Can you maybe give us an update on what the picture is looking like in the rest of the province, but also all these various roads and infrastructure that was damaged?
No, indeed. If you take the first storm actually commenced last year in June 2023. If I go until the end of July 2024 and my engineering team has done the cost just of replacing and repairing, it's now just crossed the 1.8 billion rand mark across our province. As you are aware, we saw an emergency declaration last year. We saw no funding coming from the National Disaster Management Centre or the relevant national department. We again saw within 9 days after July, again a national disaster being declared. The province declared a disaster as well. Again, no funding has flowed from the National Disaster Declaration. What we have seen from our provincial treasury is actually they've availed 350 million rand. Now that's not even 20% of the total cost just to repair our network. So we are looking forward to how the 1.5 billion rand will be funded this time around, because at the moment what we have been doing is taking routine maintenance budgets, reprioritizing and rechanneling it actually to do what we are about to do in Citrusdal and other areas. So this is also a plea to the National Treasury and the National Disaster Management Centre. Thank you for the emergency declaration, but now we need the 1.5 million, which is ultimately the balance. We don't need it over 1 or 2 or 3 financial years. We need the entire 1.5 billion actually to be availed to our department for this financial